Embryogenesis is a special process of growth and development, as in a construction site. A time of rapid cell division, miraculous organ formation, the magnificent ballet of biological coordination, where every cell knows its cue, every tissue its choreography. What happens when one team member slacks off or gets distracted? Absolute chaos. Imagine a construction site where the electricians refuse to start until the plumbers finish. The plumbers can't work because the walls haven't been built. Within the embryo, the cells, now throwing tantrums, may read the blueprint upside down or use a different measuring system. The end result, a helipad is built where the bathroom is supposed to be if we compare with a construction site. Let's explore what happens when embryogenesis goes a bit off script and the tissues start throwing tantrums. Hurry up and wait. Embryonic tissues develop in what can only be described as a bureaucratic nightmare. The heart forms early and starts pumping before other organs have even figured out their game plan. It's like being the only person who shows up on time to a meeting while everyone else is still trying to find the conference room. Embryogenesis isn't a solo act, it's an intricately choreographed ballet. But if one performer stumbles, the whole production can go from Swan Lake to Swan disaster. Embryonic tissues are a lot like indecisive dinner guests. No, you go first. No, you go first. If structures that are supposed to form simultaneously don't communicate well, it's a recipe for confusion. The palate, for example, forms when two sides of the face meet in a synchronized handshake. But if one side is fashionably late, the result is a cleft lip or palate, essentially an architectural blunder that leaves an unintended opening. Similarly, limb development depends on signals from the apical ectodermal ridge, AER. If the AER sends out mixed signals or starts late, limbs may form incompletely or develop extra parts, hence polydactyly, too many fingers, or syndactyly, webbed fingers. It's like receiving a torn courier package with protruding contents. Sometimes a part of the purchased item would have fallen off, leaving the useless residue as your treasure. Meanwhile, the diaphragm is supposed to form a sturdy wall separating the chest from the abdomen. But if it develops incorrectly, intestines might decide to take a detour into the chest cavity, congenital diaphragmatic hernia, like a snoopy neighbor in your apartment. A stage is reached when a large loop of intestine has moved in and forgets how to retreat. This is dangerous since the space available for the lungs and heart is being progressively invaded. And let's talk about the urogenital system, a combo development of twin duplex kidneys, reproductive organs, and their assorted plumbing, electrical and blood connectivity. The kidneys migrate upwards, the gonads migrate downwards, and somewhere in the middle, the bladder just hopes everyone shows up where they're supposed to. If anything goes wrong, you might end up with misplaced organs, ambiguous genitalia, or a bladder in a location that makes urologists sigh in frustration. Normally, the kidneys start their difficult road journey in the pelvis and ascend to their rightful throne in the abdomen. Think of them as ambitious interns climbing the corporate ladder. But sometimes, they fail to RSVP to the abdomen friends. The kidneys settle down wherever they get struck during ascent, refuse to budge, like nuisance tenants, setting up shop way lower than expected, pelvic kidneys, leading to awkward confrontations with the neighboring organs. And if one kidney overshoots and fuses with its twin, congratulations! You now have a horseshoe kidney. Nature's way of saying, close enough to merge into one. An adorable organ friendship. The testes are thrill seekers, parachuting, or a hormonal bungee jump down to their final destination, the scrotum. Successful descent depends on hormonal and structural signals happening at just the right time and at the right junctions. If the body misplaces a memo, cryptorchidism, undescended testes, is the result, and they end up stuck somewhere along the journey like lost luggage at an airport. Seeking local citizenship, they loiter in the abdomen like unwelcome guests at a party. Sometimes, the testes, one or both, take a detour and end up in unexpected locations because, like rebellious teenagers, they avoid the simple, well-established migration route and seek the adventurous tracks along scenic surroundings. It's like a skydiver refusing to jump at the last minute, stuck at the airplane door. While the condition sounds dramatic, surgical intervention can help coax the shy adventurer to finish the trip. Based on a blueprint of pattern formation, embryonic structures start as simple shapes, morphing into complex forms over time. When pattern formation becomes embryonic abstract art, things can go off script, leading to conditions like scoliosis, the result of an embryonic mix-up where vertebrae develop at strange angles, as if playing a game of kabaddi. And then there's cyrenomelia, or mermaid syndrome, where the lower limbs fail to separate properly, turning a would-be biped into a mythical creature. While charming in folklore, it's a serious medical condition and a reminder that limb development is a precision job in shape, size and content. Whatever its internal asymmetry, the human body, as seen externally, appears to be a perfectly mirrored right half and left half along a mid-vertical line. Symmetry of the face is particularly important, no matter how intelligent or dumb the internally seated brain is. Fortunately, while challenging, this defect can be beautifully corrected with modern surgical techniques. During embryogenesis, the neural tube is supposed to zip up nicely like a well-sealed jacket to form the combo of brain and spinal cord. But when it leaves a gap open, instead of a neat tube, imagine a veg roll trying to roll itself into a masala dosa but settling, half-heartedly, for a vada pav. The result? Malformations like spina bifida, and in a worst-case scenario, anencephaly. Embryos don't start out with clear male or female equipment, it's a gradual process influenced by hormones. But what if those hormones are undecided, or the genetic code wrongly coded and decoded? Enter ambiguous genitalia, where the body starts building one set of anatomy, then changes its mind halfway through. The result? A biological misadventure that can leave doctors scratching their heads at birth certificates. For the first time, a parent's sex, reared sex and genetic sex are at loggerhead with each other. Complex as it is, thorough medical evaluation and sensitive management can help clear up the confusion. Imagine all these events happening simultaneously. It's like hosting a multitasking contest with clumsy organizers and innocent contestants. Malformations occur because these processes rely on precise coordination, akin to a synchronized acrobatic team. One rogue acrobat, and the performance transforms into slapstick comedy. Boon or bane? A matter of perspective. So, is the interdependence of embryonic tissues a brilliant masterpiece or a disaster waiting to happen? Well, when it works, it's a marvel of biological engineering. When it doesn't, we get a developmental comedy of errors. Maybe evolution could have made things simpler, but where's the fun in that? After all, what's life without a few unexpected twists, like an extra finger, a misplaced kidney, a heart with an open-door policy, or an accidental teratoma? Just be glad that the embryogenesis went mostly according to plan. So, the next time you marvel at how perfectly human bodies develop, remember, you're the product of a wild, hormonal, cellular dance party. It could have been much, much worse. Be grateful that your organs, mostly, ended up in the right places. So, here's to Mother Nature's jazz sessions, equal parts fascinating and humbling. At least, Mother Nature has a sense of humor and willing to change for the better. For these very reasons, I would recommend welcoming a newborn into the family with a note of celebration and gratitude to the good Lord. And every birthday, thereafter, is again a celebration. It says the embryogenies is just perfect, a 9-month miracle.